but my name is Nabike Tochku, right? Also known as I'm a radiographer. So I'm a radiographer and I'm currently working at Lily Hospitals. And also, I'm a community builder. The reason I've built an radiographer community and young healthcare professionals community, and radiographer corner is basically for radiography students. We provide resources, textbooks or summaries and all what's not that you need to make your undergraduates life easy. And then for young healthcare professionals, it's for healthcare professionals that are willing to give to the community, whether by outreaches, and also we look for ways to make the life of lives young healthcare professionals easy, less stressful, and also help with resources and educational materials to help improve your professional growth. So I'm a big advocate for growth, health care equity, and just like I said, community building. Then I'm quite passionate about empowering young healthcare professionals. So for this boot camp, we are going to be discussing so much on how we are going to be setting our 2025 goals, and before we do that, we'll also try and review our 2024 to see how far we came, the challenges that we had, and how we are not going to be repeating the mistakes that we've that we did in 2024. Right. So I'm hoping that in the next 2 hours, something that takes people 6 hours, will be able to have accomplished it in 2 hours. But then I'm hoping that you have your pen and you have your journals because you're going to be diving right in. There will be no need for lots of preambles. We'll have lots of it at the end where we have a lot of questions, answers, activities. But we are going straight ahead to what we have because we want to strengthen, reduce the 6 hour session to 2 hour session. And I'm hoping that that is going to work. So why does what we are doing here even matter, right? Because we're talking about goal setting. Maybe someone says because it's a new year, new me kind of thing. Or maybe you've checked how 2024 went and you feel 2025 has to be better. So this is your first action or one of your intentional steps to making sure that 2025 is better than 2024. Right. So when we talk about goal setting, it's something that gives you purpose. It's something that gives you direction, right? It helps you prioritize what's important. So you are not everywhere and then doing nothing. You are not so busy, but at the end of the year, you can't really say this was what you achieved or this is what you did or you feel you could have done more. Yeah, all of us, even the highest achievers always feel there is more to achieve. But then there's a difference to when you know you could have done better, but you didn't even go 1% of what you should have done. Right. Then goal setting helps you grab opportunities because already at least when you know that you're looking for scholarship or something, it makes you keep an eye for it. It makes you join groups that will make you have those situation have those opportunities opened up for you or at your doorstep, or when they even come up, when someone mentions it in passing, you're able to say, oh, I'm looking out for this thing. Do you know how I can get in contact with someone like that? Like it's just so easy when you have something set in mind. The universe somehow has a way to get things come your way, and you're able to grab the opportunity. Or like when you do not have anything set on your course, opportunities will come and they will go. Someone that wants to do a virtual assisting, wants to go into tech field and wants to do a virtual assisting thing, it's easier for the person to grab the opportunity when there is an ALS scholarship or discounted course or stuff like that. You easily are able to identify the opportunities and pick them up compared to someone that is just strolling through life and hoping that one opportunity will come. And then when the opportunity comes, they do not see it as one. They feel it's something that is disturbing their flow of life rather than an opportunity. So I've said it gives us purpose, that's direction, focus, growth, and opportunity. So which is basically what we're going to be doing today. So one of the things we are going to be doing straight up immediately is to be reflecting on our 2024. Right. So I want you to pick your pen and your journal because whatever you write here is something that's going to help us in the next slides that we are going to be looking at. Reflecting on your 2024, the key questions would be: what were your biggest achievements? What challenges did you face? What lessons did you learn? I'm hoping that you're seeing my screen. So maybe just 2 or 3 points under each. Also mute your mic, please. Just write down on your journal on the paper that you're with currently. What were your biggest achievements in 2024? Right. What challenges did you face? While I'm talking, you can be writing, please. For someone like me, I would say it wouldn't be that you have any biggest stuff, but then you had some achievements, so write them down. Someone like me, I got some certifications, right? Um, Earlier in the year, I completed my PGG MRI course. That's a win. That's a win for me, right? I did under the umbrella of Young Healthcare Professionals Community. I collaborated and partnered with some other organizations um, that helped us achieve some of our goals for the year, or via medical outreaches, some webinars. Um, we were able to register the community as an NGO. Yeah, so for me, I'm saying those are like some of the achievements I've had. So you could write yours. Then what challenges did you face? Maybe you had financial challenges, you are not able to go for some courses because you didn't have the money, you struggled with your devotional life, if you're Christian or devoted Muslim, you struggled with your consistency with God, maybe with prayers or stuff. You were not able to do lots of volunteering like you wish you could have done. I hope I hope actually we are doing this because this is the reason why we are here. Because if you are just looking at the screen and not doing anything, I don't think you will benefit much from this session that we are having now. Your head, don't just think it in your head, write it out because you're going to be using it. You can't be trying to struggle to remember things that you could have written down. Maybe you are not consistent with your studies. Those are like some of the challenges because maybe I don't know what's your reason there. So what lessons did you learn from it? So for someone like me, I struggled with community building activities, right? Just like you already know, some of the things I do, I struggled with being consistent with some of the activities, and the lessons I picked from it was probably because I was doing a lot of things at the same time. So it's good to schedule things way ahead of time and space them out well enough. It was scheduled, but I thought I could do everything at once. But when it got to that point, I was choked with a lot of things to do. So one of the lessons I learned was not just scheduling, but also spacing them well enough so I don't feel so pressured and stressed to deliver on some things. I have enough time to do them. Right. Then from my collaboration with other organizations, I learned that making sure that both teams are on board on every decision that is being made is key so that nobody says the plans was made alone by one particular person or stuff, and it makes everybody not willing to do their own part and delegation of tasks and stuff. I'm hoping we are done by now. So I'm gonna move on. I will not give us so much time to dwell on this. So while we go on, I some of the things that we're going to be looking at today would be things that we're going to be looking at that would make us 360 um, balanced persons when it comes to work life or student life balance. So you're going to be looking at your academic goals, career goals, health goals, relationship goals, personal growth, and finance. These are the 6 areas you are going to be focusing on. So we are going to do something now. We're going to do just a little activity, in short. I want you are seeing something on my screen. It's called the Wheel of Life. I want you to draw a big circle on your journal and divide it into six. Divide it into six. The one on the screen is divided into 8, but I want you to divide your own into 6. Then when you divide it into 6, use 1 for academic goals. Don't write it inside, just write it on the rim of the semicircles. On the rim of each one, just like what we have here, write academic goals for 1, career for 2, health, relationship, personal, finance. Judy, do you have something to say? Or that was a mistake? Oh, is she the only one that can't see my screen? Can every other person see my screen? Can you see my screen?
Yes, I can.
Okay.
Yes, yes, I can see your screen.
Okay. So
No, I
maybe you can go out and then join again.
okay, I can.
All right. So have we been able to do it? Give me a thumbs up if you've seen it, if you've done the exercise, if you've drawn it. All right, I have 3 persons. If you're done, give me a thumbs up. 4 persons, 5. See, out of 14 persons. Okay. 7. That's half of the class. The rest, we don't have our journals with us. Okay, 8. All right, so what we are going to do with this circle is you look at the one beside the one that is not shaded, you see that there are lines 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 circles inside the 10th one. But I'm not going to stress us with that. What I want us to do is use your pen, just rate yourself from 1 to 10 in each of the circles. How well do you think you've done in each of them? That's when it comes to your academic goals, when it comes to your maybe your career goals. So if you want to talk, you can unmute yourself, and if you have any question related to what we are doing, in case you're confused. Okay, just write one, either maybe in when it comes to I think add spiritual to this thing. Okay, that's fine. We'll use relationships. So for relationship, we are going to be doing a relationship with human beings and relationship with God. Right. So rate yourself using these 6 areas that we're going to be looking at. If you're done, give me a thumbs up and I'll move on. All right. So this thing is going to be giving us insights. What the rule of life does is that it gives us insight on things that we really need to work on, maybe areas that we are having a lot of blind spots and we need to work on. You might be someone that is good at keeping up with persons. That means maybe you're having like a 7 or 8 in relationships. But then when it comes to personal growth, you're having like a 4. That means you need to up your game when it comes to personal growth. And maybe you don't need to do too much when it comes to relationship. Or maybe your academic goals, you feel you are a 5, or you want to go up to an 8 or a 9. So that means you need to put extra effort. So in your health, you feel you are a 2 because you eat a lot of junks or whatever. So it helps you know the areas that needs more intentionality. All right, so now that we've done these things, we are going to actually be entering the main class. What we did was just preamble. We are going to be doing the main thing now. Sorry, I did not prep you up or motivate you in this class before going right ahead, but I guess everyone that is in this class is already motivated to do more, to be better. So there is no need for so much of a prep up. I'm you have enough inner motivations to move ahead in it. So So just like in every other vision board class, we are going to be dreaming big with our vision board. So I don't know if anybody has ever had a vision board here, but it's something that helps you visualize whatever you say you want to see at the end of the year. It's something that has been a long age tradition, even before it was something that was taught in classroom. Before now, it has always been a deal that whatever you plan to do, you write it out. When you write it out and you see it on a daily basis, it helps you to work towards it. So what we are going to be doing is something that you are not just going to leave in your journal, because you don't open your journal every day. I might even guess I might even guess that by the time we are done with this thing, you might not even open that journal that you're writing all these things inside till maybe like 2 months later. So whatever you are going to be writing in your journal today, you're going to find a cardboard, or you're going to find A4 papers, not one, because one A4 paper will not be enough for what you want to do. You are going to write out these things, and then you're going to stick it to, if you have a wall, you can stick it to, fine. But I believe everybody has a wall. It's now how to stick it to the wall that you now figure out whether you're going to tag it, pin it to the wall, you're going to use a solo tape or whatever, but you're going to put it in a place. If you are not really so comfortable with people, come because it's your first time doing it, people seeing what you wrote, you can put it on inside the door of your wardrobe, so that whenever you open your wardrobe in the morning, that's the thing that you see. Right. So yes. So that's what we are going to be doing with the vision board. We are not going to go into full details in this stuff that we are doing now, but we are going to have samples so that by the time we are done on your own private time, you can now draw the full sketch of the whole thing. Except if you are very fast to catch up with us in what we are doing. So for the vision board, most of the times, um, some persons might not even use words. You might just find pictures that you can cut off from old magazines that represent the idea that you have in your mind, so that when you see those pictures, it helps to motivate you, or helps to remind you of what you plan to do for the whole year. Right. Let me just show you some samples. This is a vision board for someone in 2025. From what you are seeing, you will notice that the person probably wants to be in a relationship in 2025, wants to do a lot of traveling. You could see the airplane in the sky. The person wants to just live their best life in 2025. He wants to connect with family and loved ones. You could see a photo of that. The person wants to really take care of wants to make sure their skincare game is up. You could see that the person wants to make lots of money, wants to do workout and stuff. So this is a vision board. When the person looks at it, he's able to have a holistic picture of what he's looking to achieve by the end of 2020. But these are also ones. So there is this one that has lots of words. Maybe you are someone that is big on the fact that you want to achieve, that your mental health is something that is paramount to you this year, and you want to look at it holistically. So you could have ones that have these words, affirmation or affirmative words, that helps you to get to where you are going to. Right. Then for someone like me that I write a lot, we have a person on here that I created for someone that says, I don't want all these images and stuff. I just want to write my own down. You could write it down, get an A4 paper. But for me, because of how smart we are going to go around our goals, one A4 paper is for one goal. Let's say for academic goals, I have one A4 paper for it. By the time I'm done, the if that A4 paper is going to not just show the goal, it's going to show, let's say for academic goals, I'm saying I want to achieve a CGP of 4.5. It's not just going to end there, it's going to end, I'm still going to write what actions am I supposed to take, right, to get to that. How do I measure it to make sure that whatever I'm doing, I'm going to get to that 4.5, right? So that's why one A4 paper is for just academic goals, because by the time you are done, that A4 paper is going to be full if you are really going to make it a smart goal. So it means for these six, you're going to have like six A4 papers that you're going to stick on the wall or stick on your wardrobe. Right. Then if you are lucky enough, you can find pictures to attach to one of those, each of those A4 papers. Makes the dream work. So I'm going to use this. These are our personal Amaka Chidima Okeke as a goal plan that is going to help us to understand really, because I want to take you step by step. So by the time we are done, if I leave you, you are going to do this thing on your own. So I'm going to be showing you something I created on my own, a personal that I'm going to use to teach us so that by the time I'm done, you can now start doing your own. I'll give you time to do your own. But what I'm going to do to make sure that we're flowing is that each step I'm going to stop and you're going to do your own. Right. So now that I'm talking, I just want you to write your name, right? Write your name and your background, what you're saying there, the age of the person, 21 years. Well, you can leave the background, but what I want you to write there, the age, you can leave your age out, your year of study, but I want you to write what are your interests, what are the things that you fancy. For Amaka, you could see that she fancies radiology, innovation, fitness, mentorship, traveling, and content creation. So for you, I want you to write it down under background. What are the things that you fancy? Maybe you fancy starting a vlog, which is under content creation. You fancy leadership. So maybe you want to do student leadership or career leadership or something. So now I'm going to make you rack your brain a little and give me a long-term plan, a long-term goal that you're looking towards. Not just as a radiography student or as a med lab student or as a medical student. How do you see yourself? Let me put it like this. How do you see yourself in the next 5 years? Let's use that. In the next 5 years, where do you see yourself? Or how do you see yourself? How do you want other people to see you? That could be a long-term goal. So for Amaka, she wants to specialize in MRI technology and become a healthcare leader advocating for cutting-edge radiography solutions in Nigeria. I'm giving you just a little bit of time to write so you can think of something. So you are just giving me the raw materials now. One of the things I would advise, because AI has made it easy for us, and you should not go to ChatGPT now, but later, just write the raw idea, what you have in your head, what you think of yourself the next 5 years. Just write it down. Later, when we are done, you can take that thing, paste it on Meta or ChatGPT and ask it to refine it in better words, so that when you tell someone, they'll be like, oh, this person has actually been on this. But for now, just give me something to work on. So let me ask Rita, what did you write? What's your long-term goal?
I'm still. Can you hear me? Put the mic here.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, so long-term goal will be to specialize in CT, work in a healthcare world-class institution, advocate for standard healthcare in Nigeria, and also be an expert marketer, expert digital marketer.
Okay, so long term, you are looking at becoming an expert digital marketer,
CT specialist,
okay, city specialist, and then advocate for some
standard
other
healthcare
thing.
in Nigeria.
Okay, Victor Oyewale, what's your long term goal?
Oh, sorry. Good morning.
Good morning.
My own on time goal. One is to get enrolled in a radiotherapy program in the next five for the next 5 years. Get enrolled in a radiotherapy program, and also be an advocate for SDGs and well-rooted advocate for SDGs.
Okay, for all the SDGs, do you have particular ones, or
Yeah,
you're
one
still
and two,
exploring?
one and two majorly.
Okay, one answer. All right. So let me give you an idea. Right. For me, my long-term plan, if when I say long-term plan now, 5 years is not so much of a long term. I have a 10-year plan and I have a 5 year, right? For me, let's say in the next 5 years, I see myself as an influential healthcare leader, right? And thought-provoking speaker that drives transformational change by empowering professionals, not every professional, though, young healthcare professionals, pioneering innovative solutions and redefining equitable healthcare in Africa, not just Nigeria, right? So that's how I see myself in the next 5 years. If you say in the next 10 years, I would say I envision becoming an influential healthcare leader. It's still there. But then now I'm looking at in the next 10 years, I might be, and not I might, I should be the founder of a Pan African healthcare group that champions equitable, innovative, and accessible healthcare, right? While empowering professionals to find purpose and transforming systems, policies, and lives for the better. So you see how I built on the 5 years goal to get to the 10, but actually I actually wrote the 10 year old goal first. Then from there, I extracted the 5 year old goal using the smart. I used the smart goal technique to arrive at that. We are going to do that, and it's going to help you achieve. Because if you look at Amaka's ultimate vision, right, on the screen, you're seeing that Amaka's ultimate vision is to become a well-rounded radiographer who excels academically, clinically, and personally while inspiring others. Uh, so that's her ultimate goal. Maybe we would say as that's her career goal, but then you would see that she also inserted not just career, she also made mention of personally, her personal growth goals, which is inspire others. So I'm just giving you an idea so that by the time you are done and you are working on your long-term goal, when someone asks you a long-term goal, you are able to holistically tell them. You are not just telling them one area of your life. You are trying to bring everything together in a way you can. I like the way Rita did at home. She also added the fact that she wants to be an expert marketer. Probably she might get to do that in the next 2 years, and that goal might now It probably would not change. It will just get more bigger. Instead of now saying that she wants to be an expert um, social media marketer, she might now say that she wants to build a social media marketing firm. It's still in the same line, just that things changed a little. Her dreams got bigger in a short span. Right. Or she might no longer even want to just be social media. She might expand the whole thing into affiliate marketing and stuff like that. And so the fact that you wrote the goal now does not mean it will not change. It's giving you a direction. So as you're going, you are getting more clarity and you are fine-tuning your goal and it's making it better. The fact that I said um I want to make policies. Maybe with time, that thing will change to I want to be a senator. Why did it change to senator? Policy did not change. It's just that I felt that by becoming a senator, I will get to the goal of making policies, right? Because, I mean, why are they there in the first place? So, moving on, I hope we've been able to do something on this. Moving on, so I want to help you look at what we've done now, looking at the fact that we've looked at what her goal is. This is Amaka reflecting on her 2024, just like we just did now. So if you are struggling with that part, I think maybe you could gain up here. So while she was reviewing, she looked at her accomplishments and challenges. So for her academics, she maintained a CGPA of 4.2, but found it hard to balance her studies with clinical posting. When it comes to clinical goals, she gained confidence in basic X-ray positionings, but struggled with CT scan techniques. For her personal growth, she started a blog on radiography, but posted inconsistently due to time constraints. For her health, she worked out sporadically but felt sluggish during stressful periods. For finance, she was able to save 50,000 naira over the year, but didn't have a structured financial plan. For relationship, her relationship with her peers improved, but she lost touch with maybe her best friend, due to a busy schedule. Maybe we could say lost touch with family due to a busy schedule. So this was her reflection of how 2025 was for her. Her CGPA was good. Yeah, it was good, though she was looking at a 4.5 CGPA. For her wins, she at least when they call her to do an X-ray, she's able to do basic X-ray positions, but she's still struggling with CT. So these were her reflections. It would also help you when you're also doing yours. Right. So what is Amaka's vision for 2025? Amaka, remember that Amaka is a 300 level radiography undergraduate in the University of Lagos. So that is what is making her make these visions for 2025. And also the fact that she wants to be a well-rounded radiographer, which is her ultimate vision. Right. She wants to excel academically, clinically, and personally. One of our long-term goals is to specialize in MRI technology and become a healthcare leader advocating for cutting-edge radiography solution in Nigeria. So looking at 2025 as a 300 level student, what can she do? What's her vision for 2025? We are saying that she wants to excel academically and clinically. She wants to establish a routine that allows for productivity and rest. She wants to pursue hobbies like blogging and traveling. She wants to build financial independence and cultivate strong relationships. So this is her SMART goal. So what we are going to do now is I'm going to jump I'm going to jump. I'm not going to show you how she did hers. I'm going to jump to the slide where we talk about SMART goals. Then we are going to come back and see how Amaka was able to make these goals SMART. Because looking at these goals, they are not SMART. Excel academically and clean health. That's what everybody wants, but at the end of the day, not everybody achieves it. People want to be financially independent, but at the end of the day, not everybody achieves it. So we are going to look at how to make these goals SMART. Right. And I will jump, I will not show you hers. We will go straight ahead to you, how you're going to be doing yours. So for SMART goals, we already know what it means. It means that your goals are going to be specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time bound. So I have a worksheet. I have a worksheet I'm going to be sharing with us. Like some of these things that, for example, the will I shared with us, I'm going to share it as a template to us in case we need it, want to use it for future references or purposes. But then I would be able to attach the document and share it with us, but it seems I won't be able to do it on the call. So if anyone is interested in the templates, I'm just going to share it with you in your DMs after the program, if you're interested in it for the templates, because there's a template for these SMART goals, how you can work around it. I put some samples, so you are still going to see some of them, but not all. So
I expect you to just let me talk to them and tell me they need to settle this issue. I'm hoping even the
all right, so moving on. Has my screen changed? Yes, it has. Okay, going back to the SMART goals, we said for specific, you need to clearly define what you want. Just like Amaka's goal was that she wanted to excel academically and clinically, right? But that's not so smart. So we want to make that goal specific. We want her to clearly define what she wants. What does she really mean when she's saying clinically? For someone, being clinically excelling clinically would mean that the person wants a first class. For someone else, it would mean graduate class upper, right? For someone, it would be at all, make a no just. So you are saying you want to excel. Let's say you said you want to have a first class, right? So how do you track your progress to see that you have a first class? Are you saying that means that you should be having at least an A plus in all your courses, even if it's not all, in all your 3 credits and 2 credit units loads, right? So that would be, if you are seeing that you're having A's in those courses, right? At least it makes you feel like, yes, this is something this is something that is working. So is it really achievable? would you be realistically achievable? Are you a nursing mom, an entrepreneur, and also a student that wants to make first class? So, looking at your schedule currently, do you think it is achievable? That would help you fine tune whatever you are doing to make sure that your goals are achievable. Because you can't be doing you can't be doing an entrepreneur would elude you if you do not put it in a way that makes it achievable for you. Then making it relevant, does it align with your career or life vision? Right. Then time bound, you set a time for it. Maybe for a first class, you already know every end of the semester is a set deadline for you to see if you're actually working towards your goal. Would you get to that first class at the end of the day, which might be in the next 2 years, in the next 3 years, or 4 years? Right. So you have short intervals to see whether you are aligning yourself to it. So now I want you to write down your goals. Write them down. Just a rough sketch. You should be writing by now. Write them down. Don't be specific for now. Just write it down the way Amaka wrote her own. You want to start a tech, you want it down. Don't think too much about it. Just write it down in any English that comes to your mind. We are still going to fine tune it. Right? You want to add weight or lose weight, write it down. Just be writing the goals as they come to your head. What this bootcamp is helping you do is that something you would have done alone, you are doing it here, and we are keeping you seated and making you do it. So it's just you being a little bit intentional with your growth and giving you a little bit more clarity. But what I want you to do, one of those goals that you've written down, I want you to pick one of them. Probably usually are going to make that goal smart. So for the first, under that goal, just write it out. Let's say let's use that one. Make it specific. You want to write S, then write specific. That's it. Or your specific could be that you want to have a CGPA of at least for persons that have graduated, you have a second means of income, or that you want to gain internship. That's a goal. Do you have a specific place in mind? Do you want to go for federal hospitals or private hospitals? So for M, how will I measure myself? I'll be writing. You don't wait for me to get to the ones. If you've written before, you can move ahead. Right? Measurable. How do I measure my success? How will I know when I've achieved my goal? So for someone that's looking for academic excellence, that would mean having at least an A in all your 3 credit and 2 credit unit courses and higher courses, maybe your Viva. That means that this thing now will make you go to your course outline and see the courses that are 3 credit units, 2 credit units, 5 credit units, 6 credit units. So that is how you'll be able to measure this. Because by the end of the semester, you want to see that you come out with A's in most of your course to be able to achieve that your long-term goal of first class or second class upper. So attainable now is, what will I do to achieve this goal? How will I accomplish this goal? That is the next thing you need to write. Maybe it means you have to read, of course. You have to study. You have to, maybe for someone like you might have to have a study group. You have to have a routine that would help you study at least 3 hours a day. So relevant, is your goal worthwhile? Of course, if you're looking at academics, you're a student, it's something that is relevant to your goal, right? Is it time bound? So what are we looking at here? In 2025, where we are looking at a session here. So we are looking at by the end of, you have a long-term goal of having a first class, but by the end of this session, when you calculate your CGPA, you should be having at least a 4.5. So that's making it time bound. So by the end of the semester or session, if you don't have up to that, it means you are not your goal, you are not actually missing it. So I want to go back to Amaka's goal now. Let's look at her academics. She says she wants to excel academically and clinically, right? So looking at her goal, one of her academic goals that would help her excel is that she wants to achieve a CGPA of 4.5 by the end of the academic year. So how does she make it specific? She would focus on topping all radiography exams that's having an A in all. By how is she making it achievable? She's dedicating 3 hours daily to studying with bi-weekly care study sessions. So every day she says, I'm going to read at least 3 hours on a daily basis. Right? But in 2 weeks, I'm going to have my friends come around or my classmates come around, and we are going to have a peer study session where we ask ourselves questions on what we've read and see if we can remember it. So that way we are sure that we are not just studying and letting it go to the thin air. We are retaining whatever we are studying. And so this will also help you try to adjust your own. So relevant, is it relevant? Of course it's relevant. High academic performance is essential for her long-term goal of MRI specialization and all. So it makes it easy for you to get scholarships and yada yada and all those other things. So is it time bound? Yes, because you are looking at the end of the semester. By the time first semester is ending and by the time second semester is ending, and you're adding them up to see if your cumulative CGPA is up to what you're looking at. So another goal of hers is to improve, this is a clinical goal, is to improve understanding CT scan techniques. So her action or her steps towards it is to attend at least 2 workshops on CT imaging. So for you, it could be attending 2 webinars or taking 2 online courses on CT imaging, on MRI imaging, ultrasound imaging, marketing, financial literacy, real estate, stuff like that, that interests you. Then she also said shadowing radiographers specializing in CT twice a month. So at least this would make her see that she's making progress. So by the end of the day, by the end of this month, she might not be a guru already in CT scan, but she knows that she's working towards it because she's taking courses and then she's shadowing radiographers. So in the next 3 months, she would have gotten better compared to where she was today. Right. So with that, we are already looking at her, how she made her goals smart. We have the clinical section where she's talking about assisting in 30 diagnostic imaging procedures during clinical posting. So how is she going to make it specific? That includes chest x-ray, abdominal scan, and mammogram, right? So we are talking about diagnostic images. If for someone that is interested in MRI is supposed to be here. So how measurable it is? She already has a logbook that helps her see how many x-rays that she has assisted in, MRI or whatever that she has done. So achievable, you have to go for postings for this to be achievable, of course. So looking at all these things that I'm right that I've been able to write here, it helps you to fine-tune your own goals. So you don't just write that you want to excel academically and clinically. You have to make them smart. That's why I told you that one A4 paper will not be able to contain whatever it is that you want to write in these 6 areas that we're talking about today. You might have more than 6. You might, by the time you're looking at your own, you might have like 8 areas that you want to work towards. So by the time you list them out like this, it helps you know what you are working towards for the year. So by the time you are now working out an action plan, which is the next thing we are going to talk about, it's going to help you this because you've made your goal smart. You'll be able to know when the timeline for each one of them. So just like her health goals, she's looking at exercising 4 times weekly. Maybe you say you want to lose weight or you want to gain weight. That was one of your goals. So to make that goal smart, she says she wants to exercise 4 times weekly for 30 minutes to improve energy and focus. So she has already made it specific by saying that how she wants to improve her health is not by, for some persons, it would be maybe skipping meals because they want to lose weight. But for her, she wants to exercise. So how many times does she want to exercise? That's making it measurable, right? 4 times weekly for 30 minutes. That's also um, a measurable thing around it. Thing that is relevant. So yeah, I'm just giving you time to go through these yourself. I'm hoping that you can see the screen very clear. So if you've been with me so far on this journey, can you give me a thumbs up? If not, I want you to ask questions in the comment section so that we can make it more clear. Yeah, keep them coming. Joy, Sim, Rita, Victor, see you guys. For someone like me, I barely eat, but I want to eat. So, right. So because it's not healthy to starve myself. It's normal that when I start work, I forget about food until when I'm not working, and then I start feeling the hunger and I start looking for food. But it's not a healthy practice. It's not a healthy thing. So I want to change that. That's under my health goal for 2025. One of the ways I've worked around that is one of the things that even weakens me thinking about it is that I don't have food prepped already. So even if I'm feeling hungry, the laziness to go and cook will just make me stay in bed. I start doing something else, or by the time I'm now getting up from the bed, it's now like 12 o'clock, 2 o'clock, and stuff like that. So, but if I've prepped the meal before time, if I've prepped before time, it would help that I would say to myself, it's just to microwave the food and eat, or it just to allow the food to melt and then bring it out from the freezer, let it melt and then eat it, warm it and eat it. So one of my goals is that weekends, in 2 weeks, I'm going to be doing a meal prep, going to the market on Saturdays and then cooking to stock the freezer. So the food that is going to take me for the next 2 weeks. So before the 2 weeks end, I go to the market and then maybe if my foodstuffs are not enough, I go to the market, buy. And another thing is because I know myself, I've looking at my goal, I'm not someone that enjoys going to the market. So one of the things I've done because I have the means is that I have persons that would be willing to go to the market for me for a stipend. So instead of struggling to go to the market, I'm just going to give these persons this little stipend that will not cost me anything, and they will go to the market and buy these things for me. It makes it much more easier and sustainable for me to do on a long term. Because if I leave myself to go to the market and do these things myself, I might end up not even going to the market to buy them. Right. So it makes it much more easier because as you are breaking your goals down, you are seeing loopholes, you are seeing challenges where they are, and you are able to fix them up for yourself. Right. So I'm going to send you this Amaka Smart Goal. So if you need these templates, please remind me. I will send them across to you so that you can use them. Or I'm going to send you this slide, the whole slide, so that you can use them to plan for your own thing. Because looking at it makes it much more easier for you to know how to navigate to yours. Just like someone that has a goal of saving 100,000, just like Amaka here, she has a goal of saving 100K by 2025 December. Why is she saving it? She's saving them because if you are saving without a plan, you end up using that money because there is nothing you are saving towards. So if you say you are saving, what are you saving for? Maybe you want to buy a new laptop, you want to buy a new phone, you want to use it for investment. Right. So, but for Amaka, she's saving 100K by 2025 December for professional workshops and travel. We know that one of our interests is content creation and traveling. So this savings is for that. So what's her plan? To set aside 10,000 naira monthly. But as a student that does not even have a second means of income, what should be your priority at this point? Probably would not even be to save 10K because you don't have any 10K to save. You are even using the one you have to save your life. Right. So what you should do probably would be that for the first 3 months of 2025, I want to start, I want to get a side hustle. It could be that you want to, it could be in tech, it could be, because most things now that work is probably tech. It could be affiliate marketing, it could be social media marketing, it could be content creation, it could be website development, it could be coding, whatever it is, something that interests you. Sometimes it might not even interest you, but you know, because you know you want to earn money, you just have to find something that gives you money, as little as it could be, but then you dream big, right? But start small. Yes. So for the first 3 months, probably that's what you will do, setting up the business, starting it out, and making sure that by March you've started, you've gone for training, you've taken online courses. So for the next 3 months, it could be gaining experience, right? Volunteering, gaining experience, um, building your portfolio. That's 6 months gone already. So for the remaining part of the other one, it will be you starting to look out for gigs, that paying gigs that are going to pay you, which means you are going to intensify on sending out your CV, which are the things you should have done in your first 6 months, prepping your CV and all these other things. You probably have taken enough courses, read enough books, and then looking for people that will now pay you for your services and bring up strategies that will make it work. In your in the other 3 months, right? So at least by the end of the 3 months, you would have been gotten gigs. So in those your paid gigs, you would say that for every gig I get, I'm setting aside this particular amount of money to help me develop more on whatever I'm doing, to take paid courses, certifications, and all. Right. By the time you're getting to the last 3 months, you've grown significantly in that your side hustle while being a student. That in 2026, you are now looking at how do I scale this thing up to pay me more, to earn more from it. Right. You see that if you're in your 300 level now, by the time you are getting to 400 level, which is by next year or this year, you are an expert in what you are doing. You are no longer going to hold on to radiography as your only source of income, which you've not even started earning from. But now you have another side hustle that is going to be paying you. I know people that by the time they finished school, right, they didn't have to they didn't have to do this. What is it called? They didn't have to practice anymore because their side hustle was giving them more than what radiography would give them. And they decided to devote more time to whatever it was because it was giving them more. Them practicing was maybe because probably they wanted to japa or they wanted to, so it was another means to japa, not that they really wanted to practice. So, and I know some persons that started forest while they were in school. By the time they graduated, there was no need for them to practice because they now had a forest academy that they were championing themselves. They were CEO of a company. So they gave those ones full attention and they are doing much more better than persons that are practicing. Right? Maybe you are not so much of someone that is into business, but you have leadership skills. You can channel your strength, your career development in that area so that by the time you are graduating, you are a public speaker that can be invited and paid, right? Because while in school, you could hone your leadership skills by taking up positions in school so that people would know you, and so that you can also hone your skills. You can take up um, uh, speaking, public speaking courses and engagements, right? Put yourself in that space where you have those opportunities to stand in front of people and talk. And because that is what you're working towards, intentionally, you are monitoring yourself, getting better, using some techniques to see if they work, which one works for you, and building on them. So you have a lot of time to explore while you are in school. So that by the time you're coming out, you've built a portfolio as someone that can speak. People are inviting you, and now you are being paid for those things, and you are mentoring people in those areas. So you are building your leadership portfolio. In your CVs now, you have had years of experience as a leader, because while you're in school, you did a lot of things in the leadership session sector. You were your department president or treasurer or whatever it is that you have. So in that line, it helps you really do so much better. Right? For your personal growth, it could be that you want to read 6 books this year, just like Amaka wants to read 6 books on personal development and radiography leadership. How do you want to do that while being a student and while being an entrepreneur and stuff like that? It means you have to break it down into achievable goals, right? For Amaka, she says she wants to dedicate 20 minutes daily to reading. 20 minutes daily might look so small to you. You are like, what will I read in 20 minutes? But when you merge it up in 1 week, that's a whole lot. And I know that for you, if you sit down to read for that number of hours on one sitting, you might not be able to do that. But breaking them down into small goals, it helps you achieve them over time. Some of the time, the thing that makes us not achieve our goals is because we are breaking them down, but we are not breaking them down well enough, because we are saying we want to give 3 hours to something that we know. 1 hour in 3 days. That's 2 hours in 6 days. That's 2 hours and 20 minutes in 7 days. And you're making it a habit. All right. So, and another thing that makes us not achieve our goals is the fact that we have this mindset of all or nothing. The fact that you do not do it today, the fact that you are not able to do today, tomorrow you just give up on the whole thing and you're like, oh, I've messed up the whole thing. Let me start again next week or next month. So by the time next month is coming, something else has taken the place of that thing, and you're like, next quarter we'll start again. You should be able to read the day before. Don't just push it to until when you have the whole time. We know that you said you want to read for 3 hours, but then today you were able to read for 1 hour. That's progress. That's something you should do. But then when you are saying if it's not 3 hours, I can't do it, I'll just push it to the next day. It means you might not be able to achieve whatever you want to do. Right. So at the end of the day, this is Amaka's vision board. You could see some of the images that I was able to put up for Amaka. Right. So she wrote it out and then added pictures. So looking at the pictures, you already know what Amaka is looking at. She's looking at being a public, she's looking at being an A+ student. She's looking at fitness. She's looking at being a high-class lady. She's looking at volunteering. She's looking at giving quality time to family. Looking at making sure her clinical experience is a wow one. So just because Amaka is the one that wrote these things out, she probably does not need to look at the things that she wrote. But by the time she sees the pictures, whatever she wrote, she remembers it. So that's the benefits of adding pictures. That doesn't mean you can't do without pictures if you don't have anywhere to get pictures. But then, what is it? Is it apps? Apps, yeah, they've made it easier for us. Like Canva, you can easily get a template of Canva and whatever you want to do, and have a vision board. You can use it for as your screensaver. So every time you open your phone, your vision board is in front of you. All right, so what the next thing that we're going to do now, I'm trying to compress a 6-hour session into 2 hours, and 2 hours is almost drawing close. So, and soon we'll be done. So, but for this next exercise, it would be you breaking down your goals into actionable steps. So you've made your goals SMART. You said that you want to be an A+ student by the end of 2025 academic session, right? You want your CGPA to be at least 4.5 CGPA by end of 2025 academic session. So that's your goal. That's your SMART goal. And we want to be into steps. How do you think you would be able to achieve that goal? Think you will be able to achieve those goals? I have one in front of me. This person's goal is to assist in 20 X-ray procedures during clinical posting, because this person's goal is, one of the goals is to excel, not just academically, but also clinically. So from there, she brought out the fact that he wants to assist in 20 X-ray procedures. By so doing, it will make the person get better. But then the action plans now, what are your action steps? What do you plan to do? So I want you to bring out one of your goals. Right, I'm down. Try to break it down into small steps. You want to be for that, or it's precious. Precious is here.
Precious. Yeah. That was the question. Didn't get it. Just breaking.
What is one of your goals? One of your goals that you wrote.
One of your. We set an online brand, air brand. To be an air brand.
Online air brand.
So air vendor.
Okay, hair vendor.
Yes.
Okay.
So my so one of my
You want to be okay, go ahead, go ahead.
yes, one of my action steps is to um go out, start watching YouTube videos on how to also, apart from being an air vendor, I also want to start revamping business, revamping people installation of frontals and the rest. So I one of my action steps is start watching videos on how to do these things, and then go to a salon or get a program like a class on it, how to be better. Because I already have an idea about how to get better in what I want to do.
Okay. So we are going to help you narrow down these goals because it's smart, but we want to have action steps with timelines. So you'd say you want to be uh, a hair a hair vendor, and
Yes.
that's a side hustle. That you want to get a side hustle of being a hair vendor in 2025, right? Then we would want to narrow that down, or we want to broaden that more. I would say you want to be a hair vendor. You want to have a side hustle of being a hair vendor and stylist. Let me just add that it's because of the other one that you said. That makes um 5 figures by the end of 2025. Uh, that makes it that makes it smart because you now have something that you are looking towards. 5 figure. I didn't say 6 figures. I'm saying 5 figures. So at least, yeah, if you are bold enough, you can say 6 figures. Well, let's say 5 figures. That's in thousands. By the end of 2025, you have 12 months to get this done. So now we are going to break them down into actions. So the actions you said are like your first actions, but there are more actions to this, which is I'm going to be watching YouTube channels. Yeah, I'm going to watch. So to make it more smart, you would say I'm going to be watching at least two. If you know you can't do two, but you can do one, you say I want to be watching at least one YouTube channel daily for the next 30 days on on how to be a hair vendor and how to be a hairstylist, right? So that's one step. That's what you want to do. And then by next week or by next 2 weeks, you have to put a time to it. I should have found a salon I will attach myself to that would help me get better at what I do. So because you're a student, you would say you will be attending, you'll be going to the salon maybe weekends or 3 times during the week, which includes the weekend, maybe on a Wednesday, then on a Saturday, and then a Sunday, depending on how your timetable for school goes. Or you would say, after school, I'm going to spend 1 hour in the salon. I'm going to spend 20 minutes or 30 minutes in the salon. You get. So you're seeing that by the end of January, there are some timelines you're supposed to meet, which is by the end of January, you are supposed to have watched at least 30 YouTube videos. You are supposed to have started working or volunteering. Am I saying volunteering? Volunteering don't do my mouth. Um, in a salon that would help you get better at what you want to do. So you're not just any salon now, any salons that revamp hairs, right? So then what else? Let's say by February, first week of February, you should have your flyer out as a hair vendor, which means in January too, you should be looking out for hair vendors that would allow you, that will be partner with. I don't know how these things are done for hair vendors, but I guess as a someone that is starting out, to find someone that is already good in the game and they put you through, that's mentorship. So you are seeking mentorship under someone. So the person starts to allow you post their hair, their videos and stuff. So when someone wants, you get from them, you put your own gain and you make your money. So by February, I'm looking at getting my flyer done, which means you should be saving money for your flyer in January. Getting your flyer done and your first videos out by first week of February. You could still go ahead and still break it more down, meaning you can challenge yourself that by February, I should have sold my first 10 heads. First 10. So that will make you now ask yourself, how possible is it I'm going to be able to sell 10 heads just starting out in February? It means that from January itself, I should have been getting contacts of ladies that you know that like that wear hair, not the ones that wear natural ones, the ones that you know that have interesting hair. You are getting contacts, right? And at least that's one way that makes it easier, so that by February you are posting hairs on a consistent basis. There are people who get tired of doing their status because every day is only hair they are posting, nothing else, or it's their business they are posting. So because I'm not interested in it, when it gets to that place, I just swipe to the next status. Yeah. But to make it more fun, you can, I don't know, it could be a little bit of a cruise for you. You're posting memes and you're posting your hair. So people are coming to look at meme, but then they end up seeing your products at the end of the day. If you're a meme lover, actually. But then somehow you find creativity around it so that people get to see your products. That means you also need to expand your reach. It might mean that you have to create an Instagram account by February and all those other things. So you see, now that we are breaking these actions down, you are seeing that just this one goal, from this one goal, we are getting up to 4 things that you need to do to make sure that this really, really works. And you are also pushing yourself to to some level, right? So by the time you're pushing yourself to make sure you make these 10 sales, it's making you think on how do you make these things work. Because you've already put it that by the end of 2025, you should be a 5-figure hair vendor and stylist, right? So if you're able to make your 10 sales, you say by March, if I was able to make 10 sales in February, by March, let's take it up to 15. Don't pressure yourself, right? But a little bit of pressure would help. Let's take it up to 15. What do I do extra to take it up to 15? It could be that I want to get was the reviews of the persons I've sold to before, and then keep sharing them, just repeatedly keep sharing them. The person that did not see it yesterday will see it today. So that's your way of building credibility that you are good at what you do, even though you are learning. At least sure you still make mistakes, but you don't want people to see your mistakes, but you want them to see that you're credible in what you're doing. So those are ways you could also work around that. So yeah, let's work with Victor. Can you share one of your goals? Victor.
Yes.
Yeah. So what's one of your goals?
Okay. Volunteering for two NGOs this year to boost my experience in volunteering.
Volunteering for NGOs. What kind of NGOs? I know you've already mentioned that you have interest in SDG 1 and 2. So you could be more specific when you are talking about NGOs, because that will make you know the kind of NGOs, because it's not all NGOs that you can work for because of your own goals. You are trying to be you're trying to align your goals to your long-term goals. So because you are SDG 1 and 2, you would say to volunteer for NGOs that are involved in SDG 1 and 2, right? To be able to boost what again? You said something. Victor, can you hear me? Oh, you're having network issues. Victor,
Sorry, I didn't hear you. I had a network glitch.
okay. Oh, did you hear the corrections I gave when you after you talked?
No, not at all, sir.
So I was saying, can you repeat your goals? So I will go over it with you. Repeat your goals.
All right. To volunteer for two NGOs, majorly based on girls empowerment and no poverty SDG. Based on those two.
Okay. So yes, now you've corrected yourself. You've said you've been able to narrow down to the NGOs that you want to volunteer for. It's not just all NGOs. So why do you want to volunteer for this NGO?
To improve to boost my experience in volunteering, I think help me to understand the missions better.
In volunteering once again, sorry.
My experience in volunteering and to help me understand the vision better.
Okay, to also help you gain to gain experience in volunteering and help you gain clarity on your own long-term goals. So that's very relevant to what you're doing to your long-term goal. So how do you now break down this? What have you written? What do you think you should do to what are your action steps?
Looking for on LinkedIn and seeking for volunteering opportunities are open.
Okay, let me. So the first one you said was looking up on LinkedIn to check for volunteering opportunities. So for which is good, which is good, but you do not have to wait for when these people send out that they are looking for volunteers, because it might be at the end of the year that they might send for volunteers. So what you can do is to be proactive about it. You already know the kind of NGOs that you want to. You might not know them by name, but you can browse. You can just go online, take a day. Let's say tomorrow, you can just browse NGOs that are involved in SDG 1 and 2. You can type them out, see, and then the other one that you mentioned. Right. So you would see a list of NGOs in Nigeria that are dedicated to some of those things. Maybe hope lucky you, you can also post on your WhatsApp status. Anybody that knows NGOs that are involved in this and this, your contacts, they should let you know. You can even make it a post on LinkedIn to see people that will respond to you, because there might even be one within your vicinity that you do not know. So sending out those things would help you get persons that are in touch to tell you, oh, there is this NGO that I know. There might not be a big NGO, but they are working towards what you're working towards. So you align with them. There might even be a startup NGO, but then that those are the places that you actually get real experience, because the ones that are big enough, they might have enough too many volunteers that you might not even, it might take you a while to get to that leadership position. But for the ones that are still up, it makes it easier for you to find your way into leadership positions to help you actually maximize and gain clarity in your long-term goal. So you are going to be, your action steps will be looking up NGOs that are involved in SDG 1 and 2. Second step would be sending them a DM that you want to volunteer with them, right? If you don't just send to one, you send one or two or three to see which one responds to you. And if the first one that responds to you, you also need to be wise about it. You don't want to take up a lot of volunteering this thing and you don't perform. So the first person to respond to you and you feel you can go with them, you go ahead, you decline the other ones, or you decline depending on what, on your schedule and what they are about. Then when you enter the NGO, you network with your persons that are in the NGO, because that will help you put you in the know of other persons. So that way you are gaining experience and also clarity in your long-term goal for SDGs 1 and 2. End of 2025, you should have volunteered for these NGOs, actively volunteered for these persons, and then maybe taking up one or two active roles in that. So by the end of the year, you've achieved your goal of volunteering for NGOs, SDG 1 and 2. So I hope this helps every other person gain clarity in how to make actionable goals, actionable plans towards your goals. As a student, because the major thing, most of us here are students. So for your actionable plans, we've seen the one of Amaka, the persona that we are using, some of the things that she listed that she wants to do. So those are action steps that you can take to make sure that you achieve your goals. So by the time you break them down like this and you have timelines to them, it helps you know when you are behind time and when you are ahead of time. So that is why at the end of the year, people that actually have these goals, they are writing on LinkedIn or they are writing on their status that this year has been a great year. But for you, you can't really say if the year has been a great year because you never really had a plan. Well, you had a plan, but you were not able to break them down into small sized goals so that when you've achieved or gone a mile, you know that you've gone a mile, or you know you've gone 50 miles. Or when you are ahead, you know that you're ahead, and when you're behind. For you, you just know that I want to excel, I want to be a social media marketer. The only thing you ended up doing in the year was taking 2 courses. And maybe that was it for the year. For you now, next year we go harder. But if you were able to break down the goals, you would have achieved more, you would have done more, you would have even start earning by the end of the year. So this template I have here is an action plan template that helps you put out your action plan, right? Just like what we said, you are assigning, let's say, for the persons that we've talked about, what you've assigned is to yourself. Let's say, maybe for someone that runs a business, this action plan can help because it also helps you know, let's say you want to go your social media platforms, you know you really can't do it on your own. So you want to assign it to a social media, I don't know what they call them now. Is it marketer? Forgotten what they are called. People that help you boost your social media. So you want to boost your social media platform, you assign it to them. The due date for when you are supposed to have done it, you put it there. So you're saying that in the next 1 week, supposed to have done this. That's the due date. So by the end of the due date, you are checking your status. Have you done it or have you not? Why have you not done it? Or what's the progress on it? Right. So some of these things, it feels like, am I the person that is going to do all these things? What time do I have to do it? But then the thing is, you have to bring out time to do it because planning takes more time. It's planning that has more of the work. When you are done with the planning, the rest of the year is just you executing the plan and rearranging and resetting. But if you take 6 hours out of a day, sit down and make these things work, or 2 hours throughout the rest of next week to sit down and craft these things out, it helps you because throughout the year, you know what you are running with because you've written it down. The vision is very clear. You know where you are going. So by the end of the 6 months or 3 months, you are looking back and saying, oh, I'm on the right path. Oh, this is not working. I need to change my plan. So if you do not plan, it makes it hard for you. But when you plan, you've taken off 75% of the work. That's why planning is really hard work. It's not everybody that plans because planning is hard work. By the time you sit down to do all these things, it really takes you time to go through all this and come out with a plan. By the time you've gone through this and you've come out with a plan, it's very easy for you to go through your day because you know what you are supposed to be doing for today, for next week. And then it also makes it easier for you to review your month, journal your progress and stuff. Because the reason why some of these things are hard for us is because you don't even know what you're working towards. So when you now bring out your journal to write down, you are like, what do I even write about? I've not even achieved anything. I've not even gone anywhere. So at the end of the day, you just close your journal or close whatever you're writing and move on. For some of us that want to create a journaling habit, it's a struggle because you don't have goals or plans. Because if you do, you will be able to tell yourself in your journal, I was supposed to do this and this and this, but I was not able to do it. And this was the reason why I was lazy, I was procrastinating, classes were too much. But I'm hoping that next week I'm going to do that. This is what I plan to put in place. Right. So it just makes it easy for you to know what to write. You don't have a block. But when you do not plan, you always have a writer's block when it comes to journaling because you don't even know where to start. So I'm still showing you templates of how you can break down your goals, right? This is a personal development plan. Let's say for someone that wants to go into the tech field and wants to do web development. So that's your objective, what you want to learn, or you want to become a public speaker. So your action is, what do I have to do to get there? So that's where you write your actions. Then the criteria, how will I know I have achieved this? How will you know? For the ones that we've mentioned, it's very clear. For Victor's zone and Precious' zone, it's quite easy for them to know when they've achieved this. Because they said, they've put for Precious is I should have made 10 sales by February. It's clear to her by the end of February. If she has not made 10 sales, well, she has not met her goal, but she has worked towards it. Maybe she made 8 sales. That's compared to not selling anything. Or for someone of a peer that said they would start out this year and they are yet to start out. Well, it helps you know where you are. Right. So what resources will I access? So do I need to take an online course? Do I need to do I need money? Do I need mentorship? Do I need materials? Do I need textbooks? What do I need? Those are the resources. That's where you put the resources. So what are the obstacles? Well, obstacles, I can't read for 3 hours straight. I don't think I'm a business guru. I think I might make a lot of mistakes when I start out my business. I fear that I might not be able to succeed if I start out my side hustle. Those are the obstacles that are on your way to achieving these things. So when you write them down, that's when you know what do you do about these obstacles. If I feel I might not succeed, do I need mentorship? Do I need accountability? Do I need to take online courses? What are the things I need to do? Then support. What support will I have? So for whatever it is that you're doing. So the support could be the mentorship that you're talking about, the accountability that you're talking about, the action plan template that you might need to put in place to help you towards your goal. Right. So that's then when do you think you should be reviewing your plans? Maybe on a monthly basis, on a quarterly basis, on a weekly basis. Yeah. So that's it. So this is another template. So I'm going to share this with you guys to know which one works. So the one that works for you, you can use it. It makes it easy. So this one has an example in it. So the last part of what we are going to be doing now is tracking your goals. Tracking your goals. Let's say that, let's say that one of your goals, I want to say this, one of your goals might be that you want to increase your followership on LinkedIn from 100 to 1,000 by the end of H1, that's first half of 2025. Yes. So that could be your goal. What are your action plans? And also, sorry, you should also make it relevant. So why are you growing from 100 to 1,000? Is it just so that you have followership? Maybe because you also want to, because you want to gain more, what is it called now? But let me use publicity when it comes to what you do. Aside being a student, you are a website developer, you're a social media marketer. So you want to use your LinkedIn to reach people. So that's a goal. Your action plans now. How do you want to grow these people? It would be probably by sending connections, by posting 4 times in a week, 5 times in a week, 3 times in a week, and the ones you can do, but being consistent, which is what matters. Right. So that means if you are saying 1,000 persons, it means at least you should have at least, would I say, 5 followers every week by the end of every week to make you meet up with your 6 months goal. So it's now how do you make that work? That will now be your action plan. So tracking your goals So all these things that we've said, all these actions that we've said, there are ways that you can easily track them to make sure that they work. So one of them is your goal tracker, reflection journal, and your accountability partner. For all of these, goal tracker and accountability partner are the ones that everybody can easily do. Reflection journal, maybe not everybody loves to write, but it's something everybody ought to be doing because it helps you to go back in time, go back when they say going back to your drawing board. That is actually what it means because you go back to your reflection journal and you see, oh, this was what I said I was going to do, or this was how I said I was going to do this. But yes, so for tools for goal tracking, we are talking about goal tracker. For goal tracker, it's easy. You can even create your own goal tracker for someone that wants to be working out on a 4 times weekly basis. Your goal tracker could be getting a workout app that you would say you want to go on a 30 days challenge. So the app is helping you keep track of it. Days you do not do, the app gives you a slash that you didn't do it. The days you do it, it's going to take a good for you. Most workout apps have those kind of things, right? So it helps you to keep track of how much progress you've made. Let's say you want to be reading on a daily basis. Your tracker could be that you have a calendar in your place, at your at home, in your lodge, in your room, where you tick days that you read and days that you did not read. Just the idea of ticking off days that you read actually also reinforces the idea of reading because the more good you see, the more you want to continue reading. So there are days you might not read, you have to be honest to yourself and tick those places bad. So ticking it bad gives you this bad feeling that you do not want. The next day, it makes you want to read so that you can go back and tick good. So that's a goal tracker. An accountability partner also helps when you have someone that have similar goals with you, very similar goals with you. You might want to team up with the person because it makes it easier. This person wants this, I want this. So we create a goal around it and we work towards it. That's why people have reading study partners. That's why people have financial partners, people that want to go in investment. They might team together and buy lands or buy investment portfolios together. When the profit comes out, they share the profit depending on how much each person brings, right? So you can have accountability partners for different things. And it's even much more easier when one person keeps you accountable in different areas. Right? Maybe one or two things, another person one or two things. It makes it easier for you, or it keeps you on your toes. And then don't find someone that is like a discal about these things. Find someone that can hold you accountable. Find someone that will always push you. Then reflection journal is just you getting a book or a fancy diary where you can write, reflect either on a weekly basis, on a daily basis, or on a monthly basis. You would not, if you do a daily basis, it's fine, but that you missed a day does not mean that you failed. It means you have to do tomorrow, or you have to do the day before, or the day after. So, and then you have to put it in times that work for you. You probably might put it before you go to bed. You just write it. But for someone like me that if I'm on my bed and I say I want to sleep, 5 minutes I'm off. I can't do my reflection journal at that time because I'll not complete it. I'll just doze off. So probably after I've eaten dinner or before dinner or while I'm eating dinner, I could just do my reflection journal and then I'm done. Reflection journal too, you can actually use voice notes if that helps you. If you just get an app that helps you record All of us have recorders here. So what you do, you just record and then you change the title to the title of the day and whatever it is you reflected on. So you can just go back and listen to it. That way, who knows, you can start a podcast from it. Yeah. So these are just samples of a life plan that you might find interesting. These are person's own that you can use for yourself. So you see, for this person is going on a 30 days to a better me challenge, right? So she has from day 1 to 30, where is doing 100 use of water is 100 milliliters, 100 cms of water, meditating for 20 minutes, exercising for 30 minutes, getting outside 20 minutes, 10,000 steps, eating early, eating plan. So the idea is not that all of them have to be ticked good. It's just to see how far you've come, to see these things I'm doing, are they really working? Do I need to change my approach to them? Because if I say I want to drink 100 liters of water or 1 liter of water, and at the end of the first week I've not drank anything, something is wrong. It's either my approach to it is not right, but because I need it to work, I could say something is wrong. Maybe I need to start carrying water around, which means I need to buy a water can that I can carry around, right? So that would help me review and see what I'm doing wrong that is not working and correct it. That is just what this tracking of your goal helps you to do. So this life plan that is here just helps you put everything in one sheet so that when you look at it, you know what's up and what's going on. Right. So that's basically the whole thing. So these other ones here are just additionals. So we've talked about measuring your academic goals. How do you track it? How do you do this? How do you do that? Track your grades. Use a study plan. These are like action plans you should do to help you measure your academic goals. Seek feedbacks, topics you do not understand. You can meet your lecturers or meet a student that can help you understand better. Practice self-awareness and stuff like that. So for measuring clinical goals, we already know that what to do about it. So you need to stay motivated, because right now January is a good time where everybody is pumped with energy on what to do, how to go about it. Motivation gets you started, but habits keep you going. So that's why we are talking about breaking them into actionable plans that would help you make it a habit. Because by the time you are going to the salon on a daily basis, the small things that you're learning by the end of the month piles up to be a skill that you now have at the end of the day. So you might have big goals, but you have to start small, right? That's how you stay motivated. You turn it into a habit. You might want to read 200 books by the end of the year. How do you make that work? It's not something you can just easily make work, right? You have to start small, maybe by reading 20 minutes a day. By the end of the month, you review yourself and see by reading 20 minutes a day, how many books was I able to finish in a month? At the rate I'm going, will I be able to finish 200 books or the number of books I want to read? Then you even review, why am I even reading 200 books? Is it even relevant? Can't I just do 10? Can't I just do 20? Can't I just do 5? Make sure that I assimilate whatever I'm reading to benefit me. So celebrate small wins, actually, yes, because those are some of the things that keeps you motivated. You might say, if I'm able to keep my journal this month, at the end of the month, I should be able to get myself shawarma. If I'm able to make the number of sales I want to make for this month, I should treat myself to a dinner gown. Right. So you could just, those things are celebrating your small wins. So maybe on days that you are sober or days that you are not feeling to yourself, you are feeling so bad about the progress you've made that you've not made so much progress. You might see that gown that you bought for yourself and you're like, well, we got to this place. I believe we can still do more. So those things you could get for yourself gifts that will remind you that it is the journey that matters, not just the end goal. Because while we are setting goals, it's not really about achieving them. It is what the goals will do to us as human beings, how it is going to change our perception of life, how it is going to make us more intentional about life, how it's going to make us a better version of us. By the time we are getting to 2025, you might not have made the 1 million you said you want to make, but you've made 500K as compared to 20 years of your life that you've not been able to save any dime. And you see what it has done to you, how it has made you not be frivolous with money, how it has made you create more side hustles for yourself, be more intentional with spending money and all that. So that is actually the reason why we set goals. Because by the time you're done, we are having systems around you that will guide you for the rest of your life and all. So revisit your vision boards regularly. That is really important. That is why you are putting it in places you can see it. You don't just write these things down and leave them in your journal. You don't go to your journal every day. But when you have these things pasted on the wall, when you wake up, you are seeing it. When you are changing your clothes, you are seeing it. Even days you don't want to see it, you are seeing it. It makes an impression in your heart. By the time you are going out and doing some other things that you're doing, it's in your subconscious, but you have to keep it in a place where you are seeing it. So stay adaptable and open to change. Yeah, the fact that you said you want to be a social media marketer doesn't mean, or you are focused on SDG 1 and 2 does not mean you wouldn't say, oh, I think recently I'm having more passion for SDG 3 and 4. You are very open to change, adaptable, malleable to change some things as time goes on. The reason you are setting goals, it helps you with clarity on things that you want to do. Because by the time you might think that your passion is about pregnant women, but then by the time you have volunteered in that sphere, you find out that, oh, it's not really about married women. It's really about the children that they give birth to. So that changes your perspective about some things, and you change steering and all. So you are open to change. So yeah, so I think we are done. Really, the thing that we've talked about is going to help you now go ahead and create your own 2025 goals, because if we are to stay here and allow all of us go step by step what we want to do, we are going to take 6 hours. But what we did now is just to help you so that you can now do these things. Something that would have taken you 6 hours to do, because you have this idea, it will take you less. And because you have these templates, it's going to take you less time than it would have taken you. Right. So I'm going to call names. I'm going to call Simi. Simi, you are going to be my volunteer, my first volunteer. So I want you to share with the group your SMART goal, one of your SMART goals. Oh, Simi, are you there?
Yes, I am here.
Okay, Simi, what's one of your long-term goal? Long term. Or what's your 5 years goal? Did I take you by surprise? Should I ask someone else while you get ready?
My network is a bit not good right now.
We can hear you clearly. All right, let's ask Joy. Joy, are you there with us? Joy, have you slept off? Where are my people?
Yes, I'm here. I'm here. I can hear you. Can that be some? Can they just take it? Ask. Can you ask somebody else?
Why am I asking someone else? You are not ready to answer me.
Yes, I'm not ready to answer that question yet.
But you answer me. That's the reason for this bootcamp.
I will answer you.
Because all right, it's okay. Let me go with Judith. Judith, are you here? Judith? Okay. Who's going to volunteer? Oh, okay. I think what we're going to do, we're going to go one after the other since nobody is. We are going to go one after the other. Don't worry, whether you're in a noisy area or not, when it gets to your turn, we'll bear with the noise. Let's start with let's start with Clinton. Clinton, we are going to help you. The reason we are doing this is we are not saying you are supposed to be 100% sure, but then you should have a direction at this point. So I want to be sure that whatever we did here was not just us wasting our 2 hours. We want to be sure that when we end this call, that you have a little bit of the clarity or direction on what you want to do. So while you are talking, it would also help you verify some things. So Quentin, if Quentin is not here, let's go with Prince Will. Prince Will.
Rachel, please come again.
Okay, I should ask the questions again, right?
Rachel.
Okay, so I want to use this my life plan that is in front of me here to go over the whole thing that we've talked about, right? So looking at the screen, help us and answer all those questions.
Okay.
Do you have a life? Are you clear on your life vision? If not, in that place, give us a long-term goal that you are working towards.
Yeah, actually, in, in terms of my academic, I just I just got admission. So for the whole 2025, my long term goal for the year 2025 to make sure that I succeed and have a good result at the end of um 100 level.
So,
Second,
so when you talk about succeeding or excelling in academics, are you talking about coming? What CGP are you looking at? Or yeah, what CGP are you looking at? Are you looking at
yes, everyone desires the best. So I'm still desiring looking about the best of coming out with a good grade.
no, we want you to say with your mouth because when you say with your mouth, that's something that happens to you. So, is it first class? Are you looking at a 4.0 or a 5.0, a 4.5,
I'm looking about
4 point what, 4.5?
4.5, yes.
The 4.5 is first class. So,
Yes, at the end of, so another thing that I'm still looking at out of I'm still looking around side hustle because I'm a AC installation. I do AC installation and maintenance. So now going to the school, I know I will be regular in my school. So I will not be seeing much work or something of that. So is there another plan I'm having how to switch into another side of hustle so that I will be seeing something to support my education.
so you said you normally do installation of S-rays.
No, yes, air conditioner, air
Okay,
conditioner,
air conditioners.
uh,
Okay,
and maintenance.
and maintenance. So
So
why
looking
do you think you will not be able to do that while in school?
because I'll be a regular student now, so I don't think there will be much time. And secondly, coming over the state or there that I got admission, I'm not popular. I don't know anybody there, so
Oh, okay, okay. So that's a challenge.
yeah, that's a challenge. So so
Okay,
that's
but at least thank God you have one skill already. What skill are you looking at?
okay. I'm still looking at like okay, I have some of my friends that has all these boutique and all the rest in a
Mm.
very large form. So sometimes because of how I'm dedicated to my skill, they're also telling me that I should be posting their stock on my status and other this thing. Once I get buyer that will be my own this thing. There will be discount and that will be my own this thing. But
Mm.
the challenge over there is that really because the skill I'm doing, I don't have time because they will call me from one place to another, from one place to another. But And secondly, once I'm done with any work that they called me, so I will be so tired. I'll be so tired. So now I'm looking to connect to that side hustle of selling through online.
Hmm. I
So
think that's a good one. You mentioned one of your strengths, which is the fact that you're online, because you are active online. That is why your friends are requesting that you share that you become a referral vendor
yeah, I
for
refer
them.
vendor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that also works. For the first one that you mentioned, it's something that maybe you can still do during what's it called, during holidays. When you guys are in holidays, you can, by the time you travel here, you can get
You
those gigs. But while in school, during
Why
school,
why why in school if I receive a call of work, then I would if I tell the person that I'm not there or I'm busy with another thing. So that would make clients to stop bringing work or keeping trust on me that I'm not still on this
mm,
half time being on vacation or something like that. And it will make the kind of work or the kind of customer I get in every month or in every day, it will reduce automatically.
well, okay, I think I have two suggestions, which is this the one that your friend already suggested to you. It's a good option because the only thing you need to do is just to post online, be active online, post
Okay.
those things, and also get more contacts. People like you are in a student environment and students wear clothes. Everybody
Yeah.
wears clothes, and if those clothes are affordable and things that students can buy, you would surely get people that will buy from you, depending on how consistent you are with the business. If you
Yeah.
take it as something serious, of course, it's going to grow. Then you find strategies around it. There are strategies you use to get persons to buy from you, which are courses that you can just learn and find out. So that's one. Then the one of the air conditioning stuff, nobody says it's not impossible for you to get clients in the current location that you are. It just has to do that with the fact that you might have to start telling people that this is what you do in your vicinity, or you might have to create a flyer that you might need to be sharing around your vicinity for people to know that this is what you do, so that in case anybody's AC gets needs servicing or spoils, or they need to install one, they will not need to go far to call someone, and you are close by. So if it's a work that is close by, they can easily call you. You are within the school area already, you are not far. You can tell the person, if it's during work lectures, you can give the person time you will come that day, and they'll,
Okay.
yeah, and you can go do it after your lectures and come back. I'm sure AC servicing and this thing is not something that takes a whole day, except
Um,
you are doing
yeah.
a whole building or something like that. Yeah, so
Yeah.
it's to start strategizing on how to leverage on your new location to get new clients. At least you can still be earning from that one,
Yeah.
and that will also tell your other clients that are in the other states where you left that you are still working. The only thing is that you are not in the current location now. So anytime they can always still call you to check if you are around or available. And I think the better way to keep your customers is if you do a good job, a very good job. They would always, even if you tell them to give you 2 days, because they know that you are good at what you do, they might even wait. Yeah. So I think that is that.
Yeah.
Yeah. But with taking time on your own, we'll just move to another person's zone. Maybe if we have any other thing, we can now talk on in our DMs. Let me talk with Vita. Vita, social media manager, ma.
Yes, please. My phone is 2%, so I wanted to speak before I go and charge my phone because my phone won't charge while I'm using it.
Oh, okay. All right, so go on.
So the question is it a smart goal or a long term goal?
Okay, I wanted to
Because
ask.
I think the question on the slide was smart goal, and I heard you ask somebody for long term goal, so I want to be sure.
Yes, I wanted to hear the person's long term goals before I hear their smart goal, any of their smart goals, to know if it aligns. But yes, you can give me a one of your smart goals.
Okay, so smart goal, smart goal, smart goal, smart goal, smart goal, smart goal. So I feel one of my smart goals would be to get 50 certifications at the end of the year. So I plan to achieve this by taking at least two courses in a month. So that's two that are valid. So should be able to start and complete two courses in a month. And then maybe when I attend a webinars, I know that
Sorry,
Rab,
wait. Two certifications. Is it in radiography
anything,
or
it could be for my social media management, it could be radiography, just basically certifications actually to improve my craft.
okay? But I get where you're going. The thing I want to point out is that you can't tell me anything. But you've answered me. You said anything, but you now went ahead to answer me because you mentioned your social media, then you marketing. You mentioned videography. There
Yes.
are other things that you find interesting that you want to improve on. Mm, okay, but I think we can also still break it down to ones that are top priority
Okay.
can take more certifications, right? Because what I hear you say is mostly doing online courses, right? So
Yes.
the ones that are high priority you can do more of those ones. The ones that are not much of a priority can take less. Let's say you want to learn financial literacy, right?
Mm.
It's high priority though, but your social media marketing is more priority compared to that. So let's say you are getting if you take two courses or three courses on financial literacy, someone will give you kudos that you've done well. Right. But then for your social media marketing, because it's something you want to earn from, something you want to do more, if you say you've taken two off, if you say you've taken only two, we will look at you twice. But if you say you've taken like 12, okay, we'd say, well, that's progress. That's progress. That's something. So that's what I'm trying to explain. So some can take more, while some can take less, depending on how you give them priority. So you don't just have to say anything. You have to clarify which areas you actually want to delve into, have that has your interest, and then the ones you want to do more on and less on, to put them, make it very specific. Make it specific. That's the idea.
Okay, thank you. So
Mm,
the measurable goal is that it should be at least four per month. So I should be able to get four in a month, and then specific 50 at the end of the year. Um,
okay.
I think that at the end of the year also means it's timely. So
Mm,
relevant will now be prioritizing them, just like you said.
yes.
Yes, prioritizing them, and what's the last one? Actionable.
Okay.
So yes, I think that's my smart goal.
Mm. All right. That works. That works. That really works. Thank you so much for sharing that.
Thank you.
Simi, are you free now to share one with us?
Yes, I am, sir.
All right, let's go. Which one is one of the smart goals?
Okay. My smart goal, one of them is to be able to achieve a 4.5 CGPA by the end of 400 level. That is my cumulative
Oh, that's
for
beautiful.
first and second semester. Yeah. So how I want to be able to achieve this goal is to have a study timetable of at least reading timetable for at least 4 hours daily. Then,
Okay.
and I also want to I want to ensure that I dedicate these hours, even if I'm not able to achieve 4 hours, but 3 hours daily. Then go online, make research on areas that interest me in radiography, and also improve in my strengths and weaknesses also, because definitely one has strengths and weaknesses. So I want to also improve in that so that I can be able to balance everything.
When you
So at
say
the end
improve
of the
in your
day,
strength and weaknesses, can you explain?
yes, sir.
Okay. So is it
Okay.
you're saying you want to improve in your strength and weaknesses? Is it in your academic life or public speaking or devotional? You want to make it specific for us to know what you are working towards, so that when you tell someone this is what you are working towards, they'll be like, okay, they don't need to ask you question again. Just like how you say the first one, you want to make a 4.5 CPPA by the end of your 400 level. I don't need to ask you any further. It already makes sense.
Yes, I mean academically.
Okay.
Yeah, because there are some courses that um I don't find interest in them, or I don't really understand very well. So I want to ensure that I balance the whole thing. Not that I will give more time to the ones I know I have more interest in, and then leave the ones that I don't have more interest in. So I want to balance the both. The ones I don't have interest in, or the ones that are difficult for me, I want to ensure I give more time to them so that I can be able to catch up with those. So those are the weaknesses I was talking about.
Okay. So this one also has to be broken down more when you talk about this, because looking at it, you are talking about your courses that would allow you make 4.5 CGPA. So if you give more attention to the ones that easily come to you, what if those ones are the ones that are like one credit load, when the ones that do not come easily to you are the ones that are like five, six, three, three credit load? It means in this particular area, what you are going to do, right, is you're supposed to bring your course outline and see the ones that have higher credit loads. Right. For example, you are in your 400. I know clinical posting has a high credit load because you're going to be doing Viva
Yes.
in there. Right. So if you do not do well in your Viva, it means that your goals are, what's it called? Your goals are actually, you might not be able to meet up if you have a C in it. Which means you are targeting having an A in it.
Yes.
So that means it doesn't mean okay, it means you have to prioritize posting. But I know that postings most of the times postings that we do are not don't really give us what we want because there are a lot of persons at a time being taught by one person. So it might mean that you have to read, maybe watch more YouTube videos to see the things that are done, how to position a patient, and some other things, some hacks that you can use. Or it might mean that you need to find a diagnostic unit that is close to your hospital where you can attach yourself to help you gain more experience so that by the time you've done those things yourself, when you are being asked questions, something that you've done yourself, you are it's more easier to answer than when you've just only read it in books when it comes to Viva, right? So it just to find those courses that are higher grades, like 3 credit unit and stuff, and give more time to them than you give the ones that have 1 credit unit. Because if you have a B in the ones that have 1 credit unit and have a C in the ones that have 3 credit unit, the C brings down your CGPA down more compared to the B that you have. So that's how you actually are able to balance it. Make it know the ones that are high priority and the ones that are not so much of a priority. Uh, so that way you know the ones to read more, the ones to read less. And also going ahead, one of the steps you can also do is to know the kind of reader you are. Are you a visual reader or an audio reader or something? That would help you know if you can inculcate watching a few minutes YouTube video before reading your notes. That way, by the time you watch the YouTube video, it helps you to see what it is that you are reading, so that by the time you are reading, whatever you saw in the YouTube video, it's all coming together in your head when you are reading, right? Or um, also, how do you do after you've read? How do you make sure that you've retained what you've read? That's priority. You have to actually go over whatever you've read to make sure it's not opening the text and looking at it. It has to do with closing your notes and trying to remember what it is that you've read. It is not cramming. It is called active recall. Actively trying to recall whatever you've read and making sure that you still remember it. Because if you've read and you don't remember what you've read, during the exam, that's the same thing that will happen to you. You will not remember what you've read because you did not remember without the pressure of exam. It is not the pressure of exam that will not make you remember. It will take it off your head. So when you're done reading, especially those courses that you find it hard to understand, and you feel you've understood it after reading or watching the YouTube channel, close your notes, try to write out what you think you can remember. As you're writing it out, what you are doing is that you are telling your brain that these informations are important and you want to retain them. Right. So it helps with retaining, and then going over it, repetitive reading makes you remember because when you read today, you might remember, but tomorrow, do you still remember? So before you read whatever you are reading for today, you try to remember what it is you read yesterday. By the time you start reading for the new week, try to remember to see if you can remember what you read last. So that helps. So if it's hard for you to remember, go over it again. You have to repetitively go over it until it's easier for you to remember. Yeah. So yeah, it's something we can work together on. That's it. All right. So go ahead.
Yes, I can go ahead, right?
Yes, you can.
Okay. So, being said that, I also want to, one of my other smart goal is that I also want to enroll in some certified courses online. for specific ultrasound and MRI, because I want to specify either ultrasound
Mm,
or
mm.
MRI.
Do
So I
you
want
have,
to,
what are your action plans to make to achieve that one?
okay. My action plans in achieving that one is to have good textbooks on MRI and also ultrasound, to ensure that each day at least 1 hour daily I will go on research online, watch videos on MRI, watch videos on
Ultrasound.
ultrasound also. Yes. And also that certified course I said earlier. I also want to enroll in that certifying to have
Okay,
a
do you know
certified.
places you can find courses to take online for ultrasound and MRI?
Yes, I know Radiopedia.
Okay. Do you know any
Yes.
other one?
Um I
So
I
there are plenty resources online where you can learn and get certified and get maybe certificate of participation or learning, right, online. I think last year I shared a post. I shared up to like 6 or 7 sites where you can go and find free courses that you can take, and when you're done, they would give you something to show that you've done something like this, right? So I can send that to you. It would so that you can look up courses that you would want to take. It can even help you with your studies, topics that you do not really understand. You can go online and look for those courses and see if they make more sense in those courses or not. So I think your first thing to getting certification courses is to know the sites you can go to and find what you are looking for. So that means you have to do your research. You can ask people on your in your contact that radiography students or radiographers. You can browse, and even ChatGPT can give you some of those. Right. Then you decide how many courses do I think I can take. Maybe one course in a month, or 2 courses on MRI or on ultrasound. Then, because you want to specialize in that, you are in 400 level already. So that means if you want to specialize in ultrasound, at this point, you should find a place, a diagnostic center that does ultrasound scan, where they would teach you how to scan. I know during my own set, some of my classmates started scanning by second semester of 400 level. So by 500 level, they were going for ultrasound covers where they cover for our chiefs and they get paid for those things. So that's another. Ultrasound is an easy modality to leverage on to start earning early as a radiographer. Because even when you graduate, while waiting for internship, you can be going for covers in different parts of Nigeria to cover for persons that probably are going for some other thing for some days, a week, 2 weeks, depending on the days. And the pay is also good currently. So that is something you can do. Attach yourself to a diagnostic unit so that they can also teach you practically, since it's something you want to specialize in, right? And then for the certifications, I've talked about it. For which one again? Okay, for the MRI, yeah, it's still the same thing. Maybe when you are going for your postings, it's not all departments that have MRI. But if you are opportune to have one that is close to you, it's still something you can do. Or during your holidays, you can find one to attach yourself to. Or during your Cyrus, your your experience, you make sure to find a hospital or diagnostic center that has an MRI so that you can gain practical experience. Right. Then you can now add YouTube videos. Watching YouTube videos they also help a lot in that sort of thing. So yeah, thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Um, yes, I think we have exceeded our 2 hours. We are now in 2 hours 30 minutes, but I think we said it about past 10. All right, so hopefully we are going to stop here. But then we've done something, and I hope that we are able to gain some clarity. But then, if you want this conversation to continue, we can continue that in the DM. But that would mean that when you ask me questions, I'm going to tell you what to do, and I will expect you to come back with a feedback. If not, it just means that our conversation will not yield any fruit because you're not giving me anything to work with. We already have done this, so we can go ahead and start to broaden your view when it comes to your health, when it comes to your finance, when it comes to your relationships, your community, volunteering, your career. That way, it makes more sense to you. Um, all right, so thank you everyone for joining. This has really been a good time. And when I don't disappear already. Prince Will, are you raising your hand? Or it's something we can
Yeah,
discuss in the
yeah, definitely. We'll discuss in the DM. Actually, raise my
yeah.
hand too.
Then so we have always said dream big, you need to set clear goals. Those are things that will help you. So I think one other thing that would help you do is that if you really wrote things down and you want to go ahead and actually put some clarity and make sure that you are able to achieve them, that maybe you is still looking ambiguous in your eyes, send me what you wrote down, and we can set a time where two of us can sit down and help you actually make those goals actually smart and very achievable. So when you are working on them, it makes really good sense, right? So I also want to connect with every one of us on LinkedIn, on Instagram, on WhatsApp. Yeah. So yes, and we have a community for young radiography students. In case you would want to join, you let me know. Aside that, thank you for being here. And I thank myself. Thank you for listening. I had a great time. I don't know if anybody has any questions or anything to say, but I want to get your feedbacks in the DM. Was this session good? Did you enjoy it? Did you have a good time? Do you think there is something we can do better next time? I think I want to hear that more. What do you think we can put in place next time to make this much more productive? Do you think we can go the whole 6 hours next time? All right. So thank you everyone for being here. I'm expecting to see your feedback in the comment section. So see me, Prince Will, Judith, Rita, Precious. Thank you guys. Yeah, Precious, I'm holding you. I want to see your own. You need to send me your own goals. As a must. Yeah. Thank you, everyone. If you need any resources, just let me know in my DM and I'll get it for you. All right, take care of yourself. You have a nice time.